I take this opportunity to announce today is a very prestigious day that you can say that we took this opportunity that we are coming for the workshop and we are revamping our Gujarat chapter of Indian Podiatry Association. So very proud to have in the morning session we have Dr. Bansi Sabu. He is our patron and chief advisor. And we have elected, the national body has elected Dr. Vipul Chawda as the president for the Gujarat chapter of IPA. Okay. Dr. Dhara, you also come. Please. So we would like to honor you. So, please come. Dhara, you. We have 19 state chapters of our association in the country. Recently yes, sir. We had Kerala chapter, and now Gujarat chapter is running from 2016, but we are revamping the chapter now, and you have to take the name you are. I also proud to announce Dr. Dhruvi Hasnani. She is a very staunch member of Diabetes Association, RSSDI, API, and most of the diabetic associations. And she has an insight linked to diabetic foot care. And she has been nominated by the national body as a secretary for this Gujarat chapter of IPA.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It's a privilege and honor to have you and to be a part of the association. Yes. Thank you so much.
The force should be to make membership. We would like to have more membership in Gujarat state because we have more people. We do a lot of training programs under Indian Podiatry Association. The time was short in my first presentation, that's why I couldn't complete, but we do a lot of workshops, lot of training program for the members, and that's how we can prevent. The main goal should be that every district of Gujarat should have a diabetologist or physician dealing in diabetic foot care so that we can prevent amputation in every district of Gujarat. Okay. I take this honor to also announce Dr. Dhara Parekh. She has been an old member of our association from the initial body. She has been nominated by the national body as a treasurer for Gujarat chapter of IPA. Congratulations. So, quickly, I think, can I take 10 minutes or 10 minutes? Okay. These are one of the new treatment modalities I'll be covering. I'll be very fast because I think I'm between your lunch and I'm in between. So I'll take just 10 minutes and chairperson, please ring the bell whenever you want to close that. Vacuum assisted closure is one thing which everyone knows about it or not known about it, but this is one technique we should use in our major wounds or diabetic wounds. This was a lady who was walking in the garden. She has a thorn injury, a pinprick, and she has a 100 ml abscess cavity. So we drained it, we debrided it, applied the VAC therapy with IV antibiotics. She was in hospital for 2 days and we discharged her, and then we called her after 6 days, and there's a continuous discharge which goes in the canister on the side, and when the patient comes, you can look the good granulation tissue develops over there. So this type of technique is used for the major wounds. Now this is a mid-metatarsal amputation, a 4-foot amputation. Bigger wounds, there's an open celled foam, and this celled foam is applied, and this is a trap which goes on the canister outside, and very quickly we can do grafting and heal these wounds. So this is a technique called vacuum assisted closure, and we can send patient back home with this. It draws the wound together, it evenly distributes the negative pressure and removes the exudate and all the infectious material from the diabetic wound, and when all over the world it's the gold standard to work into this. Another very good technique is a platelet-rich plasma. This is PRP, very effective for diabetic wounds or non-healing wounds. Even some patients, when we send them for vascular surgery, when they come back to us, that time we have these patients are not healing. We take 20 ml of the patient's blood is taken up in this in this test tube, no, just single, and then we centrifuge at about 8,000 to 10,000 RPM in this container. This can be kept in your clinic, in the operation theater, even in your treatment room. Just centrifuge that, and then you get this Buffy coat. So this Buffy coat is separated out in the syringe, and this we can inject 0.5 to 1 ml on the periphery of the wound, and left over 2 to 3 ml of the PRP you can take in the calcium alginate sheet or collagen sheet, whatever sheet is available in your clinic or hospital, and you can fill this cavity and leave it, and just don't do any dressing for next 3 to 4 days of time. So we see slowly and slowly the granulation tissue develops over there. Also, along with PRP, we can do PRFM. PRFM is that we separate the plasma, we put it in the separate test tube with calcium gluconate, and it makes a gel. Now in this patient, this has an osteomyelitis where distal and proximal phalanx both have been removed in this row. We have a history of something around 800 patients where both the bones we have removed, and then we put this gel into this area, and within 2 weeks of time, the whole this granulation tissue, the whole cavity fills up. Here you can see the whole cavity has filled up, and then we can put a small graft, and then later on an orthotic can be given inside any sports shoes, and this patient is totally mobile without having any distal or proximal phalanx. Even the head of the metatarsal heads also we can remove, and then we can do gel PRP into this. Actigraft is one other new treatment modalities where again we take patient's own blood. 20 to 30 ml of the patient's blood is taken up. It is mixed with calcium gluconate. Again, this is a non-healing ulcer. A vascular surgery has been done in this patient. Total calcified vessels are there. And then we make a gel. This is a special canister where we take the patient's blood, put it into this and leave it for about 20 minutes, and this is a gel of the patient's blood. In PRP, we separate the RBCs and we take the active plasma. Here the whole of the blood is taken up, and this is a patient where the 3 toes have been amputated. We make the gel. You can see the shiny gel, and this is put inside the wound, and again we put a foam sheet and leave it for about 4 to 5 days of time, and then next subsequently 2 weeks to 3 weeks of time the granulation tissue develop. It is nothing, so only applying the growth factors of the patient, autologous growth factor that we are applying on the wound, and it gives us very good results into this. Debridement, again we should not be scared of debridement. There are different type of debridements are there, which I was telling you in the morning. The first session was these type of calluses. Whenever you see a patient like this, just take the scalpel or teach your staff or you yourself can just debride these calluses and give them a soft insoles. Any type of Poron sheet, Evazode, what Dr. Dhara has just shown you, you can keep it in your clinic. You can give these insoles and moisturizing cream. These three things are very important to do for these patients with calluses, because calluses is a high pressure area. Soft pedicure we don't recommend for a diabetic foot patient. Also in a workshop model, we can give these oranges with a black sketchman ring can be made, and you can teach your staff with the scalpel, just debride it, and they can have the experience into this. This is the patient having a thick callus. We can debride it, give them collagen powder. A lot of collagen powder like Medifil, Comopimate are available. Used with hydrogel. Hydrogels are Silverex Heal Gel, Hydrogel, Mega Heal. These are easily available, and you should use that in these type of small wounds or any wound available in a diabetic world. This is because of the shoe injury, the patient has got a thick callus. Debride this, and there's a small wound over here. Again, hydrogel can be given. Within 5 to 6 days, these wounds will heal. There are different type of tissue nippers are there, which can be given for the patient, which can be used in the clinic. You can see these thick calluses over here, thick nails like these. Lot of these patients have fungal infections and all. With these clippers, you can debride them. You can keep it in your clinic. They are autoclavable. You can put them in the Sidex basket also. And these should be used for the debridements. These type of Dremels are also available, which can be used for the nail care and fungal infection or for calluses. This is one of the case study. I just wanted wanted to show you. This was a patient having a bilateral gangrene in both the feet. Debridement was done. Just I think it's a physician group, but it is a more of a surgical thing. But just to amaze you, that VAC, this is a VAC therapy. The whole of the foot we cover with a foam sheet. 2 traps are given. A Y trap is there. Both the feet we connect with one machine, and we send the patient back home for about 6 to 7 days of time. And later on we can use the dermal matrix. These are the new things available, like Dermacell, Metriderm, and lot of these Integra. These are dermal matrix, little costly. This is costing about 88,000 rupees. We divided it into 2, and we put on half on this foot and half on this foot. This is a bilateral foot, and you see a good granulation tissue which is developing over here. More of the, again, after applying dermal matrix, we can apply VAC again, and this is the granulation tissue which wanted to develop on a gangrene foot, where this patient went to, I think, 7 to 8 hospitals in Delhi. Everywhere it was advised a below knee amputation, bilateral. Now you imagine a patient having a bilateral below knee amputation, and this type of results can become. This only to show you that nothing is impossible. No diabetic foot can go into amputation if you knew the technology and if you use the technique. Good sugar control, peripheral vascular disease maintenance, vascular surgery has to be done. Good sugar control, albumins. We have given them Albudac. 3 injections was given in the hospital. Then 3 was given after 3 to 4 weeks of time. This lady was totally hypoalbumic. So this is very important for wound bed preparation. And then later on, when the wound bed is prepared, then we have grafted this wound on first on the one leg, and then after 3 weeks on the second leg. And this is the result. If you see from here to here, so it's a comprehensive wound management, sugar control, antibiotics, taking care of the feet, offloading was done, VAC was done, PRP was applied, dermal matrix was applied. It is a costly process, but as we were able to save this leg. And then later on, a sole. This is a sole with a shoe filler inside, and this is a Evazode with a Poron sheet insole is given inside, and then this is into a rocker sole sandal. Rocker sole, as Dr. Dhara has shown you, rock sole means it is the under surface of the sea boat in the water. As a patient puts the foot on the ground, it directly from the heel, it goes in the front. There will be no pressure in the middle part of the foot. This type of shoes are very important. You should have into your hospital, and you can give to all these diabetic patients, because there will be no pressure in the middle part or at the metatarsal heads, where I have shown you that there will be a fat pad atrophy, and most of these ulcers, if you see, these patients develop on the metatarsal head, either the first metatarsal, second, or the fifth. So it directly goes from the heel to the front part of the toes, and there will be no pressure in the middle part. And this lady is totally compatible and walking with this type of thing. Another case which I showed you in the morning, this is a young boy, a young person, 44 years, HB1AC 9.5. He has biomechanics. As I showed you that diagram, neuropathy, PVD, and altered biomechanics. Now look at this foot. This is a bunion, a callus. He came with a callus. We did plantar pressure. This is in my center. I use RS scan. And this is a red spot which comes over here at the end or head of the second metatarsal. Again, it is fat pad atrophy. When you examine this patient, palpate it. You will palpate the bone over here. The second metatarsal, you can palpate it in your thumb. If you palpate over here, there will be a fat. You won't palpate the sesamoid bones over here. You will not palpate the bones here, but you can palpate the bones over here. This patient was advised 2 types of insole, a fat insole and an orthotic, but he didn't listen to us. He came back after 3 weeks with a petechial hemorrhage. I showed you the first photograph there, the callus, subcutaneous hemorrhage, and then because patient is walking on the same footwear, and under the head of the metatarsal and the shoe, there's no fat pad over there. So he came over here. I immediately told him that you have to change your footwear. He didn't listen. He took the orthotic, but he told me, I'm an executive marketing guy. He was wearing a pointed shoe, young guy. He was working in Gurgaon. He came back to me after 2 weeks with this frank abscess. Look at this. From this simple callus for this, just particularly to show you here that if we sometimes you and me work hard, but it's the compliance of the patient. We tell them to use that, but they are not using it. I have to go inside. There was osteomyelitis. I have to cut the head of the second metatarsal, but he was in hospital for 5 days. The question, the cost, this is there. 6 days he was admitted, 5 to 6 days he was admitted. It took me 3 months to heal this, but we saved this toe also, because head of the metatarsal was resected, then PRP was done, PRFM was given, VAC was given, dressings were done, and POP cast was given. It costed him something more than 3 lakh rupees. But a simple callus has here and a simple insole of 2,000 5,000 rupees would have saved the patient from this. So this is how these diabetic patients, when they don't get the care or they don't follow, this thing happens to this. This is always wound bed pressure. Everyone sitting here should, when you see a diabetic foot patient, always remember time or DIME. Time stands for tissue. All dead tissue should be debrided. Don't leave the dead tissue. Any black, yellow, white color tissue, remove it. Red color tissue, save it, because it's a good granulation tissue. Inflammation or infection, give them antibiotics if there's signs of infection. Do not give antibiotic. Moment we see diabetic foot patient that he has an ulcer, you start antibiotics. No, it's unscrupulous to use. 60% to 50% of the diabetic foot patient, they will not require antibiotics. Signs of inflammation are there, sepsis is there, redness is around the wound, then only give antibiotic, otherwise not. Moisture balance is very important. This diabetic foot patient, you use hydrogel. 200 rupees gel like Silverex Heal, Mega Heal, Alternate Gel. Now there's an IPCA has launched a very good product called Dulcus. That's a very good, it's an IV. If I have some slides, I can cover into this. So this hydrogel is very important. Alginate, collagen, hydrofiber, hydrochloride, there are different dressings are available. It will be available in Ahmedabad also. You can use them, and these are very good effective. Hydrogel, again, 99.9% water-based gels are there. Oh yes, I have these slides. Dulcus gel, this is an IV anti-arrhythmic drug which is used in ICUs for an anti-arrhythmic. It has been refurbished. Now, lot of cancer drugs, they are refurbished in the market now. Similarly, this is an IV anti-arrhythmic drug. Very good that it is made in India and it has got a global patent. India is the first country to use this drug. And I have put something around 400, 500 my patients are on this drug now, on Dulcus, and very excellent results are there. What it does is, in a diabetic patients, when there's a glucose conversion of glucose to sorbitol and subsequent to fructose in the wound bed, there's an enzyme called aldose reductase. So it reduces aldose reductase, and also it releases nitric oxide. Lot of Doppler studies have done by the company and seen that nitric oxide or endovascular opening of the endovascular endothelium is there in the wound, and more blood circulation reaches to the wound, and this is there. So this is one of the things. Another solution is Voxil solution, which gives oxygen radicals. It can be also used. It is available in the market by Centure Pharmaceuticals, and this gives in this oxygen radical, and this is also very effective in the healing. These are company photographs. So this is my patient who had a gangrene on the toe. We debrided, and when we give Voxil, you can just give this to the patient and tell them to do dressing every day. It is again moist wound healing, and slowly granulation tissue develops here. This was a gangrene patient where 4 toes are amputated, and then Voxil again was given for 2 to 3 weeks of time. Good granulation tissue developed, VAC was applied, and then we did a grafting on this patient. Another very practical patient, because of the workshop we are doing here in the diabetes conference, this is one of the patients where these calluses are, this is a neuropathic, open neuropathic ulcer, and this is a closed neuropathic ulcer, again on the same place on both the feet, because there's a fat pad atrophy. This is a photograph of the same patient. So what we have done, we have to do a moment the patient comes to your clinic, you will decide to debride it. But before debridement, understand you have to offload it, because even if you debride it and this patient goes back in his own footwear, there's no fat over there under the bony prominences over here. So these calluses will form again. 5 times you debride it, again 6th time it will form. So you have to give them these insoles. So Poron sheet, Evazode, Plastozode, whatever is available in your city, in your hospital, try to teach your staff, or you can send your staff to our center. We can teach them all over the India. These nurses, paramedics, physiotherapists, they come to my center. We teach them to how to go back there. And these are the U-pad. Evazode sheets are available. You can cut them with a scissor, apply that, and give these insole in the footwear of the patient. Now compliance is that when we give them soles or shoe, we put them into their footwear, they feel better, and they will the compliance is better in this. This is the right foot. We debrided it. We give them hydrogel, moisturizing cream. Within 3 weeks, the ulcer has healed. So look at the results like that. So offloading and debridement has to go part and parcel together. Even if you debride it, if you don't offload it, this ulcer will not heal. Similarly, on the left foot, we debrided it, give them moisturizing cream, give them an insole, and this ulcer has again healed. So this is how you have to work and to have a good results in these patients. Important messages: avoid unnecessary antibiotic for non-infective patient. Do not use antibiotic. Identification of biofilm is important. Remove biofilm and then take the culture. Appropriate appropriate culture should be taken, and also we need to hit them with gram-negative infection. Most of the diabetic foot infections are now gram-negative more rather than gram-positive and anaerobic. You should hit them all together for this. Osteomyelitis needs prolonged treatment, and comprehensive wound care is a must in patient. For Indian Podiatry Association, we have forms available. If anyone wants to be a member of this association, you can fill this form, give it to Dr. Vipul or Dr. Dhruvi, and you can be a member. And lot of activities we do. We have 3 journals running up. We give lot of articles from UK, from USA, from Indian, and lot of overseas podiatry, and everything into latest we teach. We are running an online fellowship program also, where 178 doctors have already done that. It is mainly for doctors who are practicing doctors. It's an online course. 7 modules are there, 42 chapters are there through this, and more than 100 videos are there. And this is linked with our Northampton University School of Podiatry in UK. So after completing this course, the brochures are kept at the reception table outside. So you can come for 1 week to my center in Delhi or in Bangalore, Hyderabad we have one center, and also you can go to Northampton University School of Podiatry, and for 1 week you can be there without any cost. The doctor has to just bear the air ticket. And we have Indian Podiatry Association has a tie-up with Northampton University. We have 12 chapters into this course from their faculty also. So likewise, we do a lot of activities and workshops. We teach doctors how to prevent these amputation. You might see these patients who has bilateral amputation. Lot of things are available, but comprehensively you can discuss with your vascular surgeon, with your general surgeon. But diabetic foot care is a teamwork team. So we have to work in a team. Many years back, I was in Netherlands in one of the consensus group, and there was something around 25 doctors. I was one of them over there, and we were trying to make the guidelines for the podiatry clinic. So there was a debate that podiatry clinic should be part and parcel of a diabetes clinic or under a surgeon's dilemma. So I think out of 25, 19 people voted for diabetes. Podiatry should be under a diabetes clinic, because that's the time that diabetologist or a physician can early identify patients, and that's how we can prevent amputation. What we have seen, we don't let the patient to go at that stage. Surgeon's role come later. I'm sorry if there are surgeons here over here. Surgeon's role, vascular, plastic, orthopedic, it comes later. It's a physician or diabetologist, we refer to them. Then the role of, I'm a foot surgeon, no doubt about it, but our role comes later. But yes, we want to prevent that if we have to get good results, and that's what we are over here. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. Take-home message for physician: if you don't take care of your patient, surgeon will take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suri.